Awesome, awesome. All right, guys, let's get started. I am recording as well, so just letting you so that you can go back and look at some of this because sometimes I might go very fast or sometimes I might go too slow. And so you can either fast forward the recording or you can slow it down and watch it again, right? And so we want to look at what's happening this week. A lot of what I do is about repetition. So if someone could put that in, repetition leads to mastery, and that's really important to understand. The reason is that we want you to become masters of wealth creation. Okay, so repetition leads to mastery. So rather than every week teaching you something new on a new topic, what we do is I teach you something new on an existing topic. Does that make sense? All right, so I talk about mindset changes a lot, but also we look at very practical stuff as we go. All right, so it's really good having each one on. Maybe Rubika, you could reach out to Selvi. It looks like she's still trying to connect her audio. All right, and so like I said to you guys, get your notepads out. But if you're someone who's too much of a writer, don't write too much and forget, right, the information. It's not about getting down everything I say today. It's about getting down comprehension so that you create a plan to the level that you can run at. So we said March is about acceleration. So we're accelerating this month, and you accelerate at the level that you can. For example, who's got this book and is reading it? Put one in the chat group if you've got this book or you're getting this book, whether it's online or the physical book, and you're actually reading it. So I want you to accelerate through it if you've read it. If you haven't got this book, I have no idea, this is the first time you've read this book, or you've seen this book, then put a 0 in there. And that's okay, because I want you now to think about your acceleration will not be to read it, but to work out how do I get it if I'm interested in crypto and making money in crypto. All right, this is one of the best books that I've read that simply give us an opportunity to understand and learn what we have been talking about, helps us to understand, comprehend, and start to get an idea of descriptions, words, etc. Okay, whether you have been in this for in the crypto world for a long time or a little bit, because remember I'm talking about the digital world, the business world, and the property world. Okay, we're talking about assets as we go, and that's really, really important. Okay. Now, for those of you that, and that's talking about acceleration, here's some reading. So if you've never read a book, right, good time to read, because knowledge is applied knowledge is power, but you can't apply knowledge if you don't receive it. So here's a book called GoPro. Anyone seen this book? And this is for those who want to learn how to build and network. All right, this is for those who want to learn how to build and network. And if that's something that's interesting to you, it's been very interesting to me, because being in Validus has really taught me about the idea of, hey, we've got something to say and it's really exciting and we can help others, so we need to learn how to say it and not force anyone. Have you ever been forced by someone? Like, how many of you have ever been excited about something that you want to force it down someone else, right? When I learned about identity and kingdom and who I am in God and how God sees me, I was so passionate about it that people said, you're being very pushy, right? Anyone ever told you that? All right, and anyone ever told me that? Don't answer, right? But the same thing in business. We might find a great idea and we want to tell as many people as we can because we've got a passion for it, or we might have the wrong motive because we want to gain from others, not caring about whether they're going to gain or not. And so having a balance is really important, and this book is a really good book to learn how to do that. All right. If you're still anyone else into books, I would suggest to you that learning about identity, this is a really good book called I Am a Son of God. And we know the author of it is an amazing guy, talks about who we are in our identity, that we are inheritors. Okay, we're not imposters. So when we understand that, then creating wealth becomes really easy. For those of you from the church perspective, even though this is not a church meeting, but a lot of us here come from church, we have been taught, a lot of us, to pay tithes. And there's something better than that. And this is a textbook that talks about how we can actually understand wealth creation. And sections 2 and 3 are very, very good. They go step by step through questions. And I suggest that if you haven't got a copy of this book, get it. It's online, and there's physical copies for those in Melbourne or even another part of Australia. We can send it to you. We've got books like How to Create Business Without Capital, with little or no capital. Okay, and I've got a gentleman at the back here that is celebrating Aurelio, who has done that, and others here who have looked at some of the things that we've taught over the years and achieved that. All right. So, and if you don't know purpose, because I always say set your goals from purpose, God's calling your purpose. All right. So, how many of you think if you don't have a book to read that you got enough material that you can go and get something and start reading? Yeah. And I want you to think about that as part of your plan this week. All right. Because mind is very, very, very important. So let me put some things together on the screen just to bring some of the ideas I've said to you that make more sense. So one thing I've talked about in the past is the potential of our mind. Okay. And some of you saw this a few weeks ago, and I want to just remind you of this, that mindset is based on what our attitude is, that then works with our behavior, and our behavior then moves to our actions that produce solutions, right? So whenever there's a problem, if you have the right attitude of what's the solution to the problem, it changes everything, okay? What's the solution to the problem rather than the problem itself, that changes my behavior, and my behavior then helps me to create an action that is solution-based, not problem-focused. And any action that is solution-based will produce results that then give us a better performance. Now, it does say with hard work here, but the hard work I always say is in the rest of God. Okay? Always do hard work in rest, not out of stress. That's very important because you should know who you are. And when we work hard, we do it out of that confidence that we have a maker who is with us, walking with us, and giving us an amazing opportunity to create a harvest. Okay? And that then in turn, when you see results, and performance is there, it gives you a great attitude to do the same thing over and over again. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to show you in terms of mindset is that you can have a growth mindset or a fixed mindset. And today, as we get into the month of March and we move forward in our growth, I want you to think about failure is an opportunity to grow rather than failure is the limit of my abilities. Okay. So whenever you feel like you're failing, it's an opportunity to grow. All right. And if something sticks out to you, I want you to write that down and think of it as this week, this is what I'm going to have in my mind. I want you to think about what we've got here on the left and right and say, what can I pick out? Like for me, the first thing at the top is a growth mindset is when I look at failure, it's an opportunity to grow. All right. If you start condemning yourself whenever you fail, calling yourself an idiot, a failure, etc., then you have already stifled your growth. Nobody else has done that, you have, all right? And so we want to change that up because otherwise we look at failure as a limit of your abilities. I love this other one. I can learn to do anything I want instead of I'm either good at it or I'm not. So I've been often saying we've been just renovating our property, our investment property, and I used to always say I'm not a good handyman. I stopped saying that this time after about 15 years of saying it, and guess what? I became a better handyman than I've done in the past because instead of saying I'm either good at it or I'm not, and sometimes I'd go up to my friend Ryan who was helping me with the work and I'd say, you do what you do and I'll do what I do. And he'd just laugh at me and go, really? And I go, all right, I'm a good handyman. Just tell me what to do and I'll work it out. And as I began to change my attitude, I went to, I can learn to do anything I want. Amen. Now that's a good thing. Now I'm sitting here next to a young fella who's going to be 70 soon, and he has just showed up today because he said, I don't know how to jump onto Zoom, but I'm going to come to your home. And normally Aurelio would not, he'll be asleep around the next half an hour or so, and he's like, I can't do this stuff. But walking a year with me and being challenged and invited, I really appreciate that he literally said, I'm going to find a solution rather than saying it can't be done. So can we give him a big high five in the air, right? Because you all got, I'd love you guys to make sure your cameras are on because we're all part of the group. It's excellent because as community, we work together. Now, yesterday, he jumped onto Metfi. He had a good conversation. He said to me, we were together on Saturday and he said, Sunday, 8 o'clock, I'm going to be here. I'm like, bro, I wanted to sleep in. And he looked at me with those dead serious eyes. I'm like, all right. Came over, we went and had a coffee together and he started asking me, he actually remembered the triangle that I've shared in the past. I'm going to just share it here and show you. If I can just get to it, let me get to that and put it up. So I love the fact when people start to talk about something I've taught, because guys, this is not just, I'm not just putting theory in. We put a lot of work into this, but this is over the years. What has worked for me will also work for you. All right. So he came up to me and he goes, I remember that triangle you said. So what questions should I be asking if I want to invest in something? And I said, I love that. I said, I love the fact that you've gone from, should I go into MedFi? Should I go into Sam Digital? Should I buy property in the NDIS? To what are the questions I need to ask to determine that? So most people just jump into the package of stuff. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go do that. And my question is why? And what are your two or three outcomes you want to achieve from it? And you can have multiple triangles, triangles within triangles within triangles. I remember being on the plane with Padre Bruce. Some of you know, the one who wrote the book, I'm a Son of God. And we were talking about this and I came up with this triangle and I said, hey, we need this triangle. And he goes, wow, that's a great triangle. I say, yes, that's what I've been doing all these years, but I'm putting it into a picture that's going to help others. And you can actually have little triangles inside of it, because your triangles, like your financial triangle, should connect with the vision and purpose of your life. All right. And your health triangle should connect with the vision and purpose of your life. If it doesn't, then they contradict one another. Does that make sense, guys? So as much as you can look at this triangle for one thing, you can also have multiple triangles within a big triangle. All right. And for those of you that are a little bit OCD going, why isn't the triangle closed? It's because it goes from 1 to 2 to 3. All right. And then it stops there, because it's just a sequence that doesn't go back to 1 again. It's just making sure that once you get to the package, it's connecting with your overall vision. And we're going to do some stuff on that today. Are you guys tracking with me? And if you are, could you put a yes? And if you aren't, put a no. And if you have no idea, go IDK. Okay. Awesome. Have we allowed our dear Niraj in? Because apparently he's been in the waiting room, but I've disabled the waiting room, so it should be okay. Is our brother Niraj in? Could someone make sure he's not waiting in the waiting room? I'm very sorry if you have been. Great, great, great. Awesome for those who put a yes to understanding this and you're tracking with this, okay? So hopefully as we go to repetition, it leads to what? Mastery, okay? And when repetition leads to mastery, amazing things happen. Yes and no. So I'm assuming that one of you has got a yes and the other of you goes, no, does not make sense. Oh, it's all right. You're here, you're showing up. I'm assuming Ross, that's a no for you, and Hiromi is a yes, right? Good. So Ross, the fact that you turn up is amazing. All right, because that's what happened with Aurelio. He turned up for 20 years, guys. Put the number 20 and years. Like literally, I've known this guy for 20 years, bro. About 20 years. All right. And Masood, it's about the same time as we met. Just after we met, before we met you, we met him at the YMCA as well, Aurelio. And I talked to Aurelio about passive income for that many years. And it was only last year, I still remember while we were walking down, we were getting ready for our 10K walk that we were raising money for the boys in Kenya for the rugby team, that he turned to me and said, how do I start to create passive income? And I went, whoa, let's stop there for a minute. You're actually talking about passive income. That means you got it. Because we weren't having a conversation about it. Because most of the stuff sometimes goes over Aurelio's head, because it's not his fault, it's my fault, because I'm not explaining it properly. So Ross, you're here. 20 years from now, you're going to be amazing. No, kidding. It's much faster than that. All right. The key, guys, to when you're not sure of something is come ask me clarity, and I'm accessible. I'm not just on here and then not accessible other times. I'm always accessible and always happy to help out. But at the same time, also connect with others. Because some people who've just understood a little bit more might be a little bit further back than me and be able to help you with the bridging of understanding. I remember when Churchill would say, I, for 7 years, could not understand what Ruben was talking about in terms of identity and who I am until somebody else who had just heard it and comprehended it explained it to me. Okay, so sometimes you just need someone else to give you that hand as well, guys. Okay, wonderful. So, remember this screen, this is one of the things we're going to refer to often is the 4 quadrants that Robert Kiyosaki teaches. Okay, and they stand for not loser, but they stand for employee, self-employed, business, big business, more than just business, and investor. All right. Now, what is important in the screen is that we're looking at how we move from the active side of things to the passive side of things, where money works for you. Okay. So I think we're all together on this. We want money to work for us. Now, the other thing I want, guys, I want you to hear this really carefully, is we don't just want to have money working for us to make money. It needs to free up our time, because time is a limited commodity for most of you. Okay, unless you're like me that thinks that I'm going to live forever, time is a limited quantity on this earth. And so let's make the best use of it. And even though I feel like I'm going to live for 500 years, 1,000 years plus, because I'm getting my body, my mind, my spirit in that tune of that, I also live like today is my last day. So that's why I live from purpose, not from goals. Okay, because living from purpose means that if tomorrow or today the Lord calls me home and says, "Hey Reuben, son, your mission is done, let's come home," I am very peaceful that I have lived out my purpose. I may not have grown in capacity, but I've lived out my purpose. So I'll give you one example of this. The reason I want to free up my time and resources, not just my money, but time, is because I want to travel to every country in the world. And you can see the map behind me where Hyacinth is just above his head. And if you ever come to my house and look closely at it, there are little pins in there of the countries I've been to. Now, I've only been to, yesterday, one of my friends was counting, who came to visit us at home church, was counting the number of pins, and I've only been to 20 countries. And she said, "You've been to a lot of countries." I said, "It's only 20. There's over 200 plus countries in the world." And this year I get to go to 2 new countries, China and Turkey, and I'm super excited about it. But what if I died tomorrow? I haven't expanded my capacity of all countries, but I've still lived my purpose of going to every country. Does that make sense to you guys? I'm not waiting to retire to go to every country. I'm not waiting to earn a lot of money to go. I actually started traveling to countries when I had nothing, and I was minus $200,000 in debt. And that's an amazing testimony that I'll share with you in the future, okay, for those who haven't heard it. Now, I want you to think about this because we're going to write some goals today in a few minutes. And one of the things I want you to think about is when money works for you, it's not just about making money, it's about freeing up your time to do the things that you want to do, okay? And that's really important, because most people would agree with me that if they had all the money in the world without having to work for it, that they would not be employed or self-employed, but they would do something else. But we've been so conditioned with the E and S side of the quadrant that we've forgotten and not been aware of the B and I. And for too long, B and I was really hard to jump into. Nowadays, we're making it really simple. That's why I'm giving you very practical ways of jumping into the B and I side of things. Okay? Awesome. So last Monday, guys, who was here last Monday? Please put a M in the chat group, as in the letter M, not this amazing M that's there, EM. Who was there last Monday? We were at Bunjil, and some of us tuned in online. It was amazing. We had a lot of people. We're going to do Bunjil again for those who love being in person. That was a great opportunity. Awesome. All right, a few of you. Who was not there last Monday? And if you weren't, I'm going to catch you up for a few seconds. If you were not there, just put an N saying not there, and that is perfectly all right, guys. We want to take you through and catch you up at the same time as push the others, accelerate the others in. Now, I spoke about 10 steps, and I'm not going to create another different set of things that are going to make things harder for you. I want you to keep looking at this. This is what we're going to focus on whenever I talk about steps to personal success. But it says steps to personal success, and it's through your purpose. And it's really important for you to understand, whenever you work with me and I talk about goals, goals are limited if you don't have a purpose. What do I mean by that? If I say I want to lose weight, right? And I say I want to lose 20 kilos in the next 3 months. And I'm specific, I'm even using a SMART goal, 20 kilos in the next 3 months, Or I want to, I'm celebrating that my heart rate has had, as a 48-year-old this year, has gone, my heart rate has, resting heart rate has gone to 42 beats per minute, which is really exciting for me because I am an athletic level and I don't, if you look at my body, it doesn't look athletic. And I don't need any of you to agree with that, all right? So no numbers in the chat group right now. But like today I went to see my personal trainer. I'm looking at this, I'm going 42. My range has been 42 to 171. 171 for my age literally means I'd be nearly over 100% of my heart rate, which means I should be dead if I wasn't fit, if my heart got to that level. Okay, now my wife and my son Hyacinth are far fitter than me in terms of what they can do. But when I look at what I am able to do, it's amazing. Now, that's a goal I have set. But here's the thing, guys. Why? Why? Because of purpose. I just said to you before, what's my purpose? I want to live to 500 to 1,000 years of age. I want to be significant in this earth. I want to help more and more people. And I want to do what God has called me to do. So the reason for that means I need to make sure my shell, my transportation is healthy. Does that make sense? So whatever you do today has to have connection with purpose. Why are you doing what you're doing? All right. So there are 10 steps here, guys. As we can stay muted, but I want you to read them out together, aloud to yourself, or if you're together, read them out to your partner. All right. And scare yourself if you're alone and read it out. Here we go. Number 1 is set clear goals. Okay. Set clear goals. And we're going to talk about that today. Number 2, create a plan. All right. Now it might sound like, yeah, it's easy. I get that. Set a goal, create a plan. Not that easy when people, as an old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Now, I planned to retire at the age of 30, and I failed to retire at the age of 30, but because I planned, it happened at the age of 36. And to so many people, it's like, that's amazing, Ruben, you didn't have to wait till you're 65. But for me, it was like 6 years more, right? But it happened in an amazing way that I can't ever go back and say, I wish it didn't happen that way. Number 3, develop skills and knowledge. So it's no use having a plan if you don't have skills and knowledge. Okay, and that's why later on, after we set the goals, we're going to work on a little bit on developing our skills in the Medfire environment. And I'm really super excited about that. And whether you have jumped in or not, heard about it or not, you're going to learn something amazing in the digital world. Number 4, what does Nike say? Just do it, right? So take action, right? We always say in the book of wisdom that faith without action is dead. In other words, you could set a goal, be really clear about it, create a plan, develop your skills and knowledge around it. And if you never take action, nothing happens. As I said, nothing changes if nothing changes. All right. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. I have people who are should be on this program who say, I really need to free up my time, but I'm so busy. And I say, we all have 24 hours in a day. You just got to make 2 hours a week aside, or 3 hours. Sometimes we go over to a little bit more than an hour. So let's say 3 hours a week. That's all you're going to do is show up and I'll do the rest. Just like I do with my personal trainer. I show up, he does the rest. Right, Hyson? And this Hyson boy, oh my gosh. Last year he was at soccer, wasn't doing so well. This year, he's just been playing with his friends, and the development that he has got to is immense because during off season, he's been taking action and developing his skills and knowledge. He's created the plan, he's set clear goals. Amazing, right? Number 5, what does it say? Stay persistent and resilient. Okay? It's not a one-off wonder. You're not going to suddenly do it and boom, everything is going to line up and that's it. You've made your wealth, you've freed up your time. It's a persistent and resilient game. Okay? Every time that we have grown to the next level, it's like, what's the next level? When you get to millionaire status, it's like, how do I get to multimillionaire? When you're at multimillionaire, how do I get to the next stage? And so it's growing in capacity, which is you're staying persistent and resilient in what you do. Number 6, seek feedback and adjust. That's why it's important to have mentors and have a good community. Number 7, manage time effectively. Good, I can see people reading this out. Number 8, build a support team. Okay, so you'll find in this group, we've got a support group, okay? But you'll also find that there might be one or two people that you can be accountable with and work together with. Do that. It doesn't have to be me. It can be me, but it doesn't have to be me. I can be a mentor to you, but you could have a support team of others who are similar to you. Said, hey, let's do this together. Let's work on this goal together. That's great. Number 9, maintain balance. Have a balanced life. Okay, there's the wheel of Christ-centered wheel of life that we talk about. There's 8 areas that we look at. Maintain a balance. Don't set a goal that would detriment your health. I often see people setting financial goals that detriment their health or their relationships. Please don't do that. Please, someone write in the chat group, wealth, health, and relationships. Okay. So when I started my business 20 years ago, I called it Capture Your Purpose. Over 20 years ago, Capture Your Purpose, and I said we want to have wealth, health, and relationships. All right. Have a balanced life. Okay. Wealth, health, and relationships. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. The Lord is good. Emmanuel, well done. All right. Number 10, celebrate achievements. All right, guys, we want to celebrate achievements. Today we're celebrating what Kim gave us her testimony and what she has achieved and what she's been part of here. There are others. I love hearing stories like just today, my brother in Uganda told me, Holiness, that he's here. Holiness, unmute and tell me how much have you made return on investment in MetFi so far? And it's only been like just over a month. I can see you there, so let's see if you are able to unmute and just share with us.
Yes, thank you very much. As I shared my screenshot with you, I have currently 120 USDs in my account, which I bought at 100. So that means I have fully recovered the investment, and I'm now $20 over, and yet still growing. So
amazing. Can we give him a big hand for that? And what a blessing. All right. So someone put in the chat group, what is his return on investment? Look, remember, if you're wealth creators, your business mind has to kick in. What is the return on investment? He put in $100, and so far he has got $120 in his account, right? Not in some account that he's got to log into, in his MetFi wallet, right? This is true MetFi, in his actual MetaMask wallet. And some of you might have a TP wallet, so whichever way. Okay. What is his return on investment, guys? Anyone tell me? Kim, I'm hearing 120%. 120%. How cool is that? Okay. He has received his money plus some back. Okay. Anyone excited about stuff like that? Now, I'm going to share with you how you can grow further, because Holiness is ready to take this out. He's already started sharing this more and more with people. He's ready to take it out to more people in Uganda to help them. Okay? So put your best foot forward, get started, take action like we said. And it's very exciting. Mercy, is Mercy here? Let me have a look. Mercy from Myanmar. I mean, this can be done with anyone in any place. No, she's not. Rubika, Pastor Rubika, can you just quickly share what's your return on investment so far? Like, she's even gone on board other NFTs, and I'm so happy for her. I'm not sure if Rubika can unmute if you can.
Yeah. So far, I've made 290 USD on my MetFi. And I've been able to use some of that and add a little bit to buy some other NFTs as well for my family members.
Brilliant. Now, Rubika started with a 1,500 fish, which is an NFT, but she's positioned herself to make 6 million plus, whereas $100 US NFT will make about 400,000. Okay, so you might say, "Oh, this Holiness got back his quicker." Yes. But he's limited unless he upgrades, and he told me today he's going to upgrade. So what's Rubika's return on investment? Can anyone give a quick pop it in the chat group or a quick yell out? What's a return on investment?
Didn't catch it.
1,500 divided by 290, or 290 divided by 1,500, just under 20%. Okay. Now, in a month. Anyone in business know that in a month to get 20%, normally it's 30% a year, to get 20% in a month is very, very exciting. Okay, and there's more to come because we haven't activated. We're just getting Rubika activated to start putting this out in the community and helping others, and amazing things are going to take place. Okay, so you see what we're doing? Practical, showing you what opportunities are there, showing you long term as well as short term, because you want to be in it for the long term as well. Okay, now guys, just before we go to MedFi, here's what I want you to do right now. So I said, get your notepads out, and I want you to take some time to do this. Is setting a clear goal. Okay, so I said to you, I'm going to go to the next screen, so just hold on. It's the same thing, and there's two things I want you to do. Number one is define what success means to you in various aspects of your life, such as career, relationships, health, and personal development. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this. I'm going to write as well in my notebook. What does success mean to you in different aspects of your life? And this is just general. It's like, to me, success is that I can spend time with my family, that I can spend time with my community, that I can travel around the different nations. And to me, success is when I can say that money is not an issue. When I can say that, money is not a concern as we steward well what we have. Okay, makes sense? Ross, sorry to keep you awake. Don't worry, I did that the other day in prayer hour, and I forgot that I was unmuted, and I got like, "Are you tired, Ruben?" I go, "No, just checking if everyone was awake." So you can use that on me, Ross. So I want you to define what success means to you in various aspects of your life. Why this is important, guys, is some of you have maybe never done this before. Some of you have thought about it but not written it down, and so we're going to write it down, and then. For those who've done that, I want you to move to the next thing. And I'm going to give you about 5 minutes, 7 minutes to get this done. Set 3 financial, 3 health, and 3 leisure goals, and be as specific as you can. And we're going to go through and see how, as an exercise, what SMART means. So be as specific as you can. Okay, so don't say something like financially, I want to make $1 billion this year, because that might be specific, but it might not be achievable. So you might say, I want to make an extra 10,000 this year. I want to make an extra 100,000 this year. I want to make an extra 50,000 this year. So depending on what you say, try and set between 1 to 3 financial, health, and leisure goals, being as specific as you can. All right, I'm going to put some music on as we go to work. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear this music? Just give me another thumbs up in a minute because I'm gonna turn off my.
I wish I could take back. Never meant to make you hurt like that. No. For a while it was perfect. You made my world stand still. Oh, it's something about you always will. So when it's late at night and you're still wide awake, if you're with your friends or you're lonely, when you hear somebody start to say my name, or when you think of me, I hope you think good things. I hope you. I hope you. Picture that night in Portland. We drank 3 bottles of wine. I said I love you about 1,000,000 times. And then we drove to Seattle, and just a kiss in the rain. Now when it's pouring, do you see my face? So when it's late at night and you're still wide awake, if you're with your friends or you're lonely, when you hear somebody start to say my name, or when you think of me, I hope you think good things.
Guys, we've got 4 minutes to go. So take your time as we go through this. Awesome, Lucia. Others can share if they want what success means to them and then go on to the next goals. You type it in the chat group and share it with us as well, which is great. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Wonderful. All right. I'm just going to stop the screen share, and I want to work on, just before I move to Met5 for the rest of the session, is to just get an idea of how we are tracking, not on our dreams, not on our success, you know what success means, but more on the specific financial goals, the specific health goals, specific relationship goals. I want to see how if you're tracking well on the word SMART. Is it specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound? Okay, so would anyone like to share what their SMART goal has, like the 3 financial SMART goals, one of them, or one of their health goals, or one of their relationship goal, leisure goals, sorry. Would anyone like to share it? And we'll just have a look and see, hopefully from that, how everyone else is tracking and whether that's making sense on how you can tweak it, or whether it's perfect. So who would like to share? Just feel free to unmute and share. Here you go, Ross.
Survive easily on passive income, give away more money to the needy, and nice car.
Awesome. So great goals. Are they SMART goals? Anyone want to say, are they specific, measurable? So in other words, give away to the poor. I love that. How much are you going to give away to the poor every year or every month or every week? That's more specific. It's measurable. If I give away $1 to the poor today, and it's $1 more than I've given away before, then I've ticked the box and said I've made it, right? So buy a new car, great, specific. Buy a Honda Accord, red color, brand new, $50,000. Buy a Toyota Hilux, $90,000, 2024 model, right? I'll come with you four-wheel driving if we do that, right? So gets more specific, it's measurable.
Yeah. I haven't got the money yet to measure.
Well, that's why we set goals,
But
right? Now, I want to get a ute, and my ute, the only ute that I would ever want to get is a Hilux, because I love Toyotas. All right. Now I know that a brand new one is going to be over $100,000, and I ask myself the question: as much as I don't mind getting it, will I go four-wheel driving with it? And is it stewarding it well? And most likely not. So what's a second-hand one going to cost me? But then I have to ask myself another question as a business person that some of you will already know and others of you have to learn is in the organizations that I create, having a loan is actually sometimes a positive thing, not as a personal loan, but as a corporate loan, because it is then fully 100% tax deductible. So then I might need to go for a brand new car on a 5-year lease, and every 5 years change it over because it's 100% tax deductible. And so would I rather own a new vehicle every 5 years, and even though it's on a debt, or would I rather pay that money towards the tax? Okay, so those are questions that I specifically would write down, because then I'm being more specific, measurable, attainable, right? Realistic and time bound. So Ross, let's look at one of those three. Choose one, and we'll make it a SMART goal.
survive easily on passive income.
Okay, could someone help me out here? How would I make that more specific? So survive easily.
How
on
much?
passive income.
How much money, Ross? How
Perfect.
much?
How much money would you need to survive easily? And the word survive is interesting. So how much would you need to survive?
100,000 annually.
100,000 USD or AUD a year?
AUD.
Perfect. So having 100,000 AUD a year will make you survive. What will make you thrive?
150.
150.
200,000.
I like the way others are answering for you. They're going to come help you
Come on,
spend it.
Ross.
I agree. That'd be good. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
be carrying these cases.
Right. So remember, if you don't plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so when you have a goal that says within the next, say, 24 months, or the next 14 months, or the next 12 months, or the next 1 month, so could you achieve the passive income of 100,000 a year within the next 1 week? Is that, it's specific, but is it attainable and realistic, Ross?
No, certainly not.
How much time do you think you would need? And it's okay if you get it wrong, guys. You just want to have a time bound. How much time do you think would be good to get passive income happening to achieve this goal?
I say 2 years.
2 years. Awesome. So 24 months to achieve between $100,000 to $150,000 passive income. So now, guys, is that smart? It's specific. It's measurable. It's attainable. It's realistic, and it's time bound. Is that making sense?
Realistic.
Yep, it's realistic as well. And it's measurable, because 2 years from now, you can set a date and say on the 4th of, 5th or 4th today? On the 4th of March, 2026, I want to have achieved 100 to 150, let's say 150,000 AUD a year. All right. Now, that means that halfway through the year, in 12 months' time, halfway over the time bound, you might say in 12 months' time, a milestone would be to make sure, have I achieved half of that, 50 to 75,000? In 6 months' time, have I achieved half of that, which is about 25,000 to about 40,000 AUD. See how you can break it down into smaller goals now. Is that making sense? All right. So I want you guys to make sure that you're always setting SMART goals. If I say I want to lose weight, one of my health goals, all I need to do is lose 500 grams and I've achieved the goal. If I say I want my belly to come down under 90 centimeters in the next 3 months, in March, April, May, June, by June, I want my belly fat to have come down, my weight to have come down by 90 centimeters. Then now is it a SMART goal? Yes, because I'm being more specific. It's measurable, so I'll know. And that means halfway through at 12 weeks, has it come down by half of that goal? So I can check and readjust as we go. Is that helping everyone? Okay.
Yeah.
Now leisure. Hey, who's got a leisure goal? Someone just give me a leisure goal. Throw out a leisure goal to me.
You got a leisure goal.
Who's got a leisure goal? Come on, let's get someone.
Just
I've got take my son to the World Cup in 2026.
Say that again.
Take my son to the World Cup in 2026.
Oh, I like that. Take my son to the World Cup in 2026. Now, question is, what do you need to achieve that? Is it time? Is it money? Is it getting the tickets together, buying the ticket for the World Cup? What do you need to achieve it? So we're more specific.
Need the time, the money, and the research on when the tickets are on sale, where to purchase them, how much they are.
Amazing. So the goal, take my son to the World Cup in 2026 in itself is smart. It's a smart goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, and it's time bound. But now you can break it up into smaller milestones and go, I need to have X amount of dollars by then. I need to buy the tickets beforehand. I need to buy the flight tickets as I get closer to the date. I need to have accommodation booked. I need to have, so now you've got something to work towards. Is that making sense to you guys?
Yep.
All right. So when we live out of purpose and we set goals, it's very exciting. All right. Please let me know if this is helping you, because I want you to take this week to actually make sure that you take time to specifically, and those who do it, you're gonna go further. When I said I want to retire at the age of 30, I had specific goals written down how I was going to do it. I was going to do it through property, but it ended up being to something else, and was exciting. Okay, and now I moved into the digital world, and it's even more exciting. All right, so would you take this week to just take a day, take 2 hours, maybe go for a walk somewhere with your diary, put some music on, and just start to dream. And then take out your book, take out the notes we've had, and say specific goals that I'm going to reach. Lucia, I like that. Make 50,000 extra this year. Help more people achieve their goal as I achieve mine. Give as much to help the needy. So 1 is good. This year, you've given yourself like 9 months to do it. Number 2, is it smart, guys? It's an amazing goal, but it's not smart because help more people. What's specific? Maybe I'll help 10 more people. Like I've said, I want 5 people who are ready to become millionaires that I'll walk with you doing. Again, obviously, like I said, I can't give away what I don't have, so I'm giving away what I can do. I can't make you a billionaire yet because I don't know, I haven't got to that status. Okay? 5 people are ready to walk far. Now, I've specifically written that. 7 people that I want to disciple this year into knowing their purpose. Like I'm specific on what I want to do. I want to multiply our home churches from 5 to 10 this year. So we have 10 home churches around the nations, including Melbourne, who know who they are and have family unit, right? That's specific. So helping more people is awesome. How do I achieve that? Because I could help half a person and go, I've done it. Okay?
Yeah.
Lucia, make sense?
Yeah, makes
Awesome.
sense now, Ruben.
Give as much to help the needy. I want to do 3 projects this year. All right? That are going to cost me $10,000 in total. You getting what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what country you guys are in and how much, whether you're earning shillings like in Uganda for a family that's there, or in Kenya. Doesn't matter if you're in Australia earning AUD, or you're in New Zealand earning New Zealand NZD. This is just getting an idea of being specific as you can. Okay, Selvi, love that. Reduce 2 days, work a fortnight by September. Wow, amazing. All right, is that smart? Yes. Okay, very exciting as well. So working 2 days less, a fortnight by September. Okay, and now the question would be, how am I going to achieve that? Once you set a goal, the ability to say how, the answers start to come, because now you're working towards a specific goal. All right, wonderful, guys, well done. I've written it down in my book as well, thanks to amazing Jenica, Jerry's wife, who gave me this book when we were in Malaysia as a gift when she came from Sri Lanka, and I've written down something that I made use of it and said, here are my goals. Okay, all right. It's 9 o'clock. We want to just do a little bit more, just a few more minutes overtime. It looks like the hour is not enough to do stuff. a little bit more time to just get into MetFi. You guys okay with that? Let's just do a little bit on MetFi, and then I want you to understand that MetFi is an amazing decentralized autonomous organization. It's part of the digital world. So if I go back and share my slides, I just want you to recognize that we are looking at products. We're practical in what we do. And I love the fact that we can do this program and be practical. We've got the wealth creation training, which is what happens on a Monday. We've got a plan that we're creating for the week. We've got the Forex and crypto training, and we are in doing the digital world of MetFi, the SAM assets of the business world, and the housing and property side of things that you can apply. And I know the housing is mainly, we're specifically looking at Australia for the NDIS, but things like Airbnb, homestay, housemates, you can do anywhere. Okay, any country, which is very exciting to potentially look at. Like, I want to encourage you guys that, in the last 3 weeks, my wife and I, along with a few of our guys, worked really hard to create a package in our property that produces an $80,000 income. Okay, and that's great. Now that's replaced someone's income, right? Ross, almost got to your passive income of what you need of 100 to 150,000. Now you do 2 of those properties, and you've actually replaced your income straight away. Okay, $160,000 a year if you do 2 of those. So is it possible? Yes. Now, if I took it to the real estate agent, they would have given me less than half of that. Okay, so I want you to think outside the square. And now we're going to just change gears to the digital world, which is the not SAM Digital, sorry, the MetFi, and look at how amazing MetFi is and what it's doing for you. Now, how many of you put it in the chat group? How many of you have already bought an NFT in MetFi? I want you to put a 1 or put an NFT. Put the word NFT if and I'll do it for R3 because Aurelio has bought an NFT, a fish. Hyson has bought a shrimp. Awesome. And I've got a shark. I started with a fish and upgraded to a shark. All right. And now I want you to put in what you've got. So I've got a shark NFT. So I'll just say NFT shark, but that gives me everything underneath it as well. Okay. So I want you to put in what you've got. And if you haven't got one, just wait a moment because I'm going to tell you what to put. Okay. So that I'm just gathering where everyone's at. Holding a shrimp for now. Good. I love that for now because that's ready to upgrade. How exciting is that? Okay. Shrimp, NFT dolphin, amazing. Fish. Great. Exciting. That's the entry level, I'd say, if you're really serious about making some really good income. Okay. Now, if you haven't got anything yet, I just want you to put NY for not yet. Okay. So NY for not yet. Like I haven't done it yet. But I'm here, wealth creation, and I want to look at and understand and jump in. Again, there was an information session just earlier before, and I suggest you jump into. Now, look, guys, one thing you'll know with me is I'm not promoting. I know I sound really excited, but I'm not trying to. I never promote something or someone just for my benefit. Okay, it will always be to help the community. I was invited to something before that was hey Ruben, come along with this, you'll make loads of money. I said, what about my community? Yeah, they'll benefit as well. Really, how? And it wasn't. I would benefit from using the community to jump into something, but they wouldn't. And then I really loved when I was given the opportunity to understand MetFi DAO, and it is such a community-based system. And you could earn more than me even if you're under me, and you could earn from me if you're under me because of this, what we call spillover. But I want to activate you guys and say, hey, there is something amazing that we can do as we go from this opportunity of saying, hey, can I make the opportunity to make 400,000 from 100,000, $400,000 from 100,000 if you fill up the matrix of 88,000, and the opportunity to make $6 million dollars from just putting a $1,500 fish in. And we're going to do some work, right? So who's ready to do a little bit of work? Because imagine I spent how many weeks? 3 weeks working hard to produce an $80,000 income. Who thinks that's good? Like I said, passive income is not something you have to be active in the passive, okay? So how many of you be willing to work like for 6 months as an example, where your $100 can become $400,000? Like that's 400 per X, all right? I heard a couple of eyes. Like, how many of you would be willing to put, $100 to make it 400,000 plus? Okay, and $1,500 to make it what? 6 million to 20 million, depending on how active you are, right? What if we worked hard for 6 months? Like how many? Like just 400,000. How many salaries would that be? How many years of hard work where you can just enjoy as you're going? Does that make sense to you guys? This is the digital world we're in, okay? So let me share my screen. Let me show you some of the things that you need for those who are already in, and for those who aren't in yet, this is going to be super useful to you as well, okay? So if I go to my app, medfi.io, and it's going to ask me to just log into my MetaMask wallet. Now remember, it doesn't matter if you've got MetaMask or if you've got TP. Okay, this will work for either of you and all of you. Now it's transparent, guys. You can go type my name in, it's Ruben S. In your MetaMask, just under here, find account, and you will see everything that I have, and you will see who's under me. Just like if I go and type in Yes Wealth, who are the guys who introduced this to us, it shows me their account, and it shows me, wow, look at that, 523 shrimps, 240 crabs, 193 octopi, 170 fish, and so on all the way. And it shows me that they have done personally enrolled 111 people. So our leaders are not playing around. They are part of this, excited just like us. How many of you are excited? They're not being just dormant in this, okay? They've earned to date 64,000 USD. For those in Australia, that is equivalent of almost 90,000 Australian dollars, and they've done that in just since December. Okay, we're in the beginning of March. This is the beginning of December, so in 3 months. Is that good or is that good? Right? It's good. I got one good. Anyone else excited? Because I am, right? Now, you can look at my account, and I have not done as fast as them, but I have got 45 personally enrolled people, 111 team under us, and I've made about $5,310. You guys can all see that here on the left, okay? So you can go into your account and check. I'm a shark currently, okay? And I'm an affiliate, okay? Which means I can put others in, and I'll earn when I put other direct people and introduce them, okay? Now, the good thing is this, guys, you only need to introduce 3 people, and if each of us introduce 3 people, and you don't have to do that, but if you each introduce 3 people, we can fill out the shrimp matrix within a month. That's $400,000 just there, okay? And if we work together and introduce the fish and fill out the matrix of 88,500 just to 3 people, if each of us do that within 24 to 48 hours, remember it's specific goals, we literally can fill this all up in a month. Now let's say we're going to give ourselves a year. How many of you think we could work in a year to encourage others to join? And don't force anyone. Remember, it's an opportunity, okay? And you don't have to network, but if you do, and I'm looking for specifically leaders who are willing to do like what I've done, get 45 enrolled in a month, get 111 under them in a team, and start one another, help one another to do amazing things, okay? Now, I want to show you what's happened from people who've done nothing, but what can happen if you do something. Okay, so this is my shrimp network. Okay, my shrimp matrix, and we've got Holiness here. Can we all give it up for Holiness? Because when he heard this in Malaysia, he was ready to jump in. He said, I'm jumping in, and he was the first to jump into the shrimp matrix, and he's in Uganda, and Jerry is in Sri Lanka, and Papa Luke is in Australia, right? Now, just look at Holiness. For the first few weeks, he was really occupied and he didn't do anything. But look at his network. Why? Because I was doing something with him. And you can only have 3 people under you. And as soon as I got the 4th person out of the 45 people, it had to come to the next spillover. It's what we call spillover. Now, it's slowing down, guys, because now I'm up to level 4 in shrimp. So it's taking more time for people to actually achieve. And so the reason is because if no one else is working but me, it takes a long time. All right. Now, what I want you to do is learn to have everyone working with everyone and we can achieve greater things together if we all work together. Does that make sense? So even holiness will slow down, because see, look at the shrimp. I've already filled out level 1, 3. Level 2 has got 9 people filled out. Level 3 has got 27 people filled out, and we're up to level 4. But I've got some leaders, because I can see level 5 is already starting to fill out before I get to level 4 filled. Okay, so that's exciting to me. One of the leaders is Project 61. Okay, another leader is Holiness is starting to become a leader. Jerry's starting to become a leader, and invite other people. Okay, what about you? I want you to put in the chat group, is it possible as a community to just invite people? We do the rest. You just invite, we present, and then they decide. Who thinks they could do that? Okay, as a goal, like literally something simple. I see that hand, Sebastian. Thank you. All right. No hand, Sebastian. You're typing. All right. I don't see the hand, but hopefully it's a good answer.
I was gonna type something.
Say it, bro. Say it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. It's
Awesome.
possible. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's possible. Now, together, we what could we change in our communities, and how many people can we help? I love that some of you guys have got goals to help those who are less advantaged to us. What about in other countries? Like I'm part of P61 that helps 500 boys in rugby in Kenya. All right, who have families. A lot of them have families. I'm part of helping 750 children in Sri Lanka go to school, and lots of other projects. Now, what if we empower them to earn income as well? And we've got a simple system that can do that. How exciting is this going to be? Now, don't go trying to find people for your benefit. Find people to help for their benefit. And as you help them, you get helped as well. Okay, I love what the Bible says. The good book of wisdom says, as you water others, you yourself get watered. Okay, so as you help others, you yourself get help. I also love the fact that, concentrate, my brother. I also love the fact that, what's his name said this? Forget his name now. Amazing speaker. He said, if you want to get wealthy, help others to get wealthy. If you want to get successful, help others to get successful. Okay? And I'll remember his name in a minute. Amazing mentor that just passed away recently at the age of 80 plus. And so it is very important that if we do want to get successful, then we need to help others do the same. Does that help everyone? Okay, so look at the back end and have a look at tokens staked. You get 10% of the what you buy, you get 10% that is staked. So I got a shark, I got a fish at the start, which is $1,500. What's 10% of that? $150. 75 MET5s of that was staked because it's 2-to-1 ratio. Okay, and it's been minting. When I upgraded to Shark, I got Shark was 6,300. I got 10% of that $630 staked. Okay, of USDT, which is half of 630 is roughly about what 315. But you can see I've got more than 315 MET5. Why? Because every 12 hours I'm getting my staking is allowing me to mint more. So how do I know that? Well, in your screen here, and you guys can do this on your phones, you can do this on your computers. In my screen, if I go to the word stake, it shows me here that in 3 hours, 44 minutes and 27 seconds, every 12 hours, I'm going to get a 0.45 MET5 coming in as a reward. Amazing. Being a shark gives me 6 times the multiplier of MET5 tokens. So the higher end token you get, the more you receive. And I can buy more tokens. I don't have to stick to just 10%. Okay. You can go, as I was showing you, to your matrix and see who's under you. So whenever you guys say, oh, someone joined in and I don't know if I got paid or not, well, you can just go in to your matrix and check. So for example, let's look at who? Hyacinth. Okay. Hyacinth just came in, so I don't think Hyacinth will get paid. So let's see if he has got, have I spelled it right? Yes. Let's see if there's a user called Hyacinth. No, I haven't spelled it right. I put Hyacinth S maybe. No, isn't Hyacinth S. Hyacinth SS? No, it's not capitals. There we go, Hyacinth SS. Okay, so that's Hyacinth and there's nobody under him. So his network hasn't grown. He just got in And so, like I said, you've got to give patience if you're not growing it yourself. So, Hyacinth, you can put 3 people under you, okay, which you want to do. Now, if I say now, let me go to another person and type in how they're going
Go to Mum.
to yours. So let's say, what's your username? Is it Sandy?
Yep. I think so.
Let's have a look if it's Sandy. No, it's not Sandy.
Try Sondra.
Let's
I think
have
it's
a-
Sandy D.
Sandy D.
Oh, Sandy D. I think you're right.
All right, let's see Sandy D. Beautiful. So let's look at Sandy's network. Under Shrimp, Sandy has got 1 person. Okay, so she's earned some rewards in there. Under Crab, Sandy's got 1 person again. Well done. Under Octopus, Sandy's got 1 person. So like the higher you go, you're getting 5% on a higher NFT, which is more money. And under Fish, Sandy's got nobody yet. All right. So now I want to find out, okay, where is Sandy in the network and when is she going to get her next thing? Well, you can go back to my account. I can go to my account, but you can go put my name in. And if I go to Fish and look at the Fish and see how it's formatted, I look at it and go, all right, where is under the Fish network? We've got a few fish here that have joined. And so Sandy is under Rubika here. And so now she's got no one, but if I look up a level, look at this. My first level is complete. My second level is complete. The next fish that comes under my ID is going to come under Sandy. Or Sandy can go get her own fish herself.
Can I ask a question?
100%, yes.
By looking at that diagram there, would the middle one not have the metrics would automatically fill the fish in there, the missing where it's got 2?
Looking at this, oh, sorry, yes, you are right. I didn't see Hiromi's got, and thank you for correcting me. No one else did. So well done. Look at Sandy. Now, Sandy is a 75-year young woman who should not be on the digital world because according to stats, the digital world is for 25-year-olds and under. Okay. And this one is calling me out right now and saying, hey, hang on, there's one more for the matrix to be filled up. Amazing. Now, why did it skip and P61 is full? Because under P61, I'm recruiting people too. So it'll do Hiromi, and then the next one it'll go and do Sandy under here. Okay? And then it'll do Nathan R. And then because I'm building the network in P61 as well, it won't come to P61. It'll then go back to Melanie and put it under Melanie, right? And so on and so forth. Okay. Now, the more all of us work, the better. All right. So Sandy might go back here and say, well, how many octopus do I have under here? Octopi, I should say. So under Sandy, there's 1. Okay. But if she goes back and looks at, and she's got a shark, which is pretty good. She's got Joseph, right? Under Hiromi's network, the next octopus that comes will come under Iman. Okay, and then the next one will come under Margaret Q, and then the next one will come again under Sandy. So she knows 2 more, and she's got some money. So she can go get them herself, or she can just wait for spillover to happen. Okay, now which one is faster, guys? Get them yourself, all right? How do you get them yourself? Well, that's where we'll start to learn as part of our goals is to say, can I help accelerate this? So remember I said in the month of March, we want to accelerate. Okay, month of March, we want to do what? Accelerate. So there are 21 of us here right now. Okay, and a few of us have double up. So let's say there's about 25 of us here. How many of you think if you were given the strategies that you could help to accelerate this matrix so that we don't have to wait 2 years for it to be filled, we could actually fill it up within this year or even the next 6 months? How many of you would be willing to say, if you were given the tools, because I'm saying yes, that you could be willing to say, I'm willing to be teachable, because all you need to be is coachable and teachable. All right? And come in with a teachable mind and say, look, we could work together and get this done in 6 months. Because literally, I'm telling you, you can get it done in 20 to 30 days. That's how exciting this is. But we get it done in 6 months. Okay? I've got a few. And I only need a few. I don't need all of you, but I want I would love all of you. You know the old rule, I wrote this in TikTok the other day. They say 20% of people do 80% of the work. Let's change it up, guys. Let's make it 100% of us do 100% and get 100% rewards. Because 20% of the people in the world only get 80% of the rewards because only 20% are willing to do something. Let's change it up. Right? Let's make a difference. Let's be the person who says, I will be there and I'm willing to change it up. And so I want to congratulate you for coming on this program. I want you to come every Monday, right, from 8 to 9 or 9:30, a little bit longer if we need to. All right, I love you guys sticking on, and you know, very few of you have jumped out. That's excellent. Why? Because we want to do practical stuff, and sometimes if it boils over a little bit more, is it worth sowing seed? 100%. Like I went out the other day to Aurelio's house and he had this amazing curry leaf tree. And then he had these curry leaf berries. Has anyone tasted berries off a curry leaf? It is amazing. All right, I was like, wow. Okay. I ate it. It tasted like a berry, but it had curry flavor in it. It's like, whoo, amazing. All right. Now, I want a curry leaf tree in my backyard for the berries, not for the curry leaves, because I can get it from him. Now, how long, Aurelia, did it take you? When you moved in, it was a tiny tree. So maybe about 5 years? 4 years, 5 years? So if you want a curry leaf berry tree, you should have planted the seed 4 years ago. You get what I'm saying? So you want to do wealth creation, we should have done some seeds 4 years, 5 years, 20 years. So when is the best time to start? Now. Plant the seed. Right? I love the fact that some of you guys have said, yes, I'm ready. Okay? Ready to go. All right? Now, all you got to do is show up. And then when we have training, make time. This year is a year of learning. Like, Margaret is impressive to me. All of you are impressive to me. I'm just calling a few out that said, this last 2 months, I've seen her go from 5 years of fear to just faithing it till you make it. Because as I said yesterday, you can't have both in your mind, right? You can't entertain fear and faith on a situation at the same time. One has to manifest, one has to win. And I love seeing Margaret calling me going, when are we doing the next thing? I need to get this done. I need to get this done. I'm going to push into this. Like, Margaret, you good? Because, yeah, come on, let's do it. I'm like, woo. Right? How exciting is it? Margaret, how excited are you for this year, 2024? Like, literally, you've accelerated and it's exciting. How are you feeling about it?
I'm just trying to faith it, Ruben.
You're faithing
I'm
it.
a bit flat today, but I've had other things going on. Yeah, I'm just doing the best I can to faith it.
Awesome. But Rubika, you've been helping Margaret faith this along. So how do you feel she's been tracking the last 3 months?
I reckon she's been racing ahead in leaps and bounds. It's amazing and it's awesome to watch.
Now, it's measurable because how many times did Margaret turn up last year online for meetings? And we had one almost every day. How often did Margaret turn up? Rubika?
Oh, sorry, were you asking me? Not as often.
She was faithful to the Wednesdays and she said, I'll be on the Wednesdays, and she was always on, right? But the other day she said, I can't. It's too much. I'm too tired, too much, right? But you know what I love about you, Margaret? I don't know if you realize this. You started sowing seed.
Yep. And she's on more than I am sometimes.
In the last 3 months, you're the first to get in. You're learning and you're answering stuff just like Sandy did right now. You're answering questions. When I asked people what the blockchain was, the first person to explain it was Margaret, and she blew me out of the water. Like, that is perfect. I asked what Bitcoin mining was. Well, guess who answered it? Margaret. She goes, I wouldn't be able to answer it again. Not true, right? How Kim has been running, where she's persistent, and just keeps knocking on the door, blows me out of the water. Like, she does not give up. Like, she says she's a dolphin that likes to have fun. I call her a dolphin shark. I said she just grabs onto things, and man, you better not be in her way of the jaws. Just be in the back behind her, achieving everything, because she's like, get out of the way. Let's be successful for all of us, right? Amazing. All right. And each of you, like, I just call each of you and see your journey as you've come in here. Now, if you're coachable, things will change. Hiromi, amazing. Ross, I'm celebrating with you. Okay, Hyacinth looked at MetFi the other day and he goes, Dad, this is easy stuff. My friends can benefit from this. 16 years old, and he's going, I'm coachable. And so I said, turn up today, and I was watching him, and he turned up. Doesn't put a singlet on because all his muscles are bulging now from all his hard work. Like this man's going around, showing off his abs and his structure, and even his Uncle Churchill's like, whoo. Man, this guy is.
Just keep your shirt on, Hyacinth. That's all we ask. Keep your shirt on.
Don't flex those muscles because I'm proud of it. Amazing. Now, I show up and he shows up. Right? And so we can't entertain fear and faith at the same time. We've got to choose one. So either your fear is false evidence appearing real, and it will happen. And you go, I told you so, it's going to happen. Yeah, well, because you manifested it, or we faked it. Don't fake it. All right, I'm not a believer of faking it. I went to one of the mentoring programs and I never went back because they said, you got to fake it. Dress the part, speak the part. Even if you haven't got the part, act like you're successful, act like you're a millionaire. Have you ever heard that? Guys, I will not fake. Anything I share with you is because I've done it. Okay, and if I haven't got to that place, you come and ask, if you asked me 2 years ago, can you share with me about Bitcoin? I got people ask me, I said, no clue. No clue. Crypto, no clue. I said, you can go speak to XYZ because I have no clue. Now you come and ask me, I can tell you about it. You say, teach me. No, come to Santosh's classes on a Tuesday and Thursday. It's free of charge and he's starting up a membership program soon. Jump in, right? Jump in. And you want to learn, you want to be serious, plant the seed so that you get the fruit. That's going to happen. That makes sense? All right? So, Sam Digital, guys, if we're going to Brisbane. If you're coming with us, awesome. If you're not coming with us, in 3 weeks' time, for most of you in Melbourne, we're going to have that business element. Like I said, you can either start your own business or you can invest in a multi-million-dollar business. How many of you would rather employ people through your investment to work for you and return money than you having to turn up every day? Right? Only one hand. I mean, come on, guys. You're getting the mindset, right? People say, just give me capital, I'll go start my own business. I want to be free. Like my wife and I are investing in a coffee shop just down the road. We're blessing them. When I say investing, we don't have a return. We're blessing them, but the owners just live 2 doors away. So when we come in and we need food, when we need coffee, the guy barista makes it for us. As soon as we need food, he's got to go call the owner. She's got to be on call. From 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Not my cup of tea. I love what they're doing there. But I would rather invest in someone else who's making the money for me because I've got a bigger purpose than that. Is that making sense to you guys? Okay. So I'm hoping this will help you because I know it's helped me. All right. And I'm going to stay on for a couple more minutes.